And a very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ives Lamel Family Field for this edition of Brevard College Tornadoes football. The USA South Conference opener for Brevard College as the Tornadoes host the Blazers of Belhaven University. A 1 o'clock Eastern time, 12 o'clock Central time kickoff. Worth noting the different time zones because Belhaven comes all the way from Jackson, Mississippi in the Central time zone. A long trip, over 550 miles, covered by the Blazers to make their way here. Blazers part of the USA South Conference. Tornadoes made that trip to Jackson, Mississippi last year. And a big opportunity for the Tornadoes to bounce back after a 51-30 defeat to Hampton-Sydney in non-conference action to start the season last week. Certainly a week where the Tornadoes were able to learn a ton from what went wrong in that game. Also, of course, continue to capitalize on the successes that they had throughout the game, and there was plenty of those as well. But that fourth quarter in particular was a tough pill to swallow for the Tornadoes, and looking to bounce back quickly here with a big opportunity here in the USA South Conference opener. Taking on Belhaven, the defending champions of the USA South Conference, so a formidable opponent for the NATOs as warm-ups continuing here on the Ives Lamel Family Field turf. It's a warm late September Saturday afternoon, currently 77 degrees. The high is expected to hit 81 before this game is done. And you should probably add a good 10, maybe even 15 degrees on the turf when it's this sunny of a day and this warm of a day. So certainly tough conditions in terms of heat for these student athletes here at Ives Lamel Family Field. But looking forward to a compelling matchup between these two teams, and we'll be bringing you that action. Get things started in about 25 minutes. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with the Brevard College Tornadoes on the offensive side. Once again, Ethan Beamish leading the charge to that quarterback position, the junior. The backfield for the Tornadoes, Chancellor Lee Parker, the starting running back. We'll also see a lot of Jaden Deaton once again. He made his debut last week for the NATOs. Also expect to see more of DJ Henderson in third down situations at that running back position. Starting wide receiver, Zachary Orr, who had just a bust-out game in his opener, a season and career high for Orr, of course, with that huge receiving total, over 200 yards. And at the other wide receiver position, making his first career start in a Tornado uniform, Reggie Taylor II. Other wide receivers who we expect to see action, Adam Douglas, George Rennie, Will Marshall, Jack Spotts, Seth Marshall, Alex Bolton, and Cooper Hogan, who typically is the starter on the other side of Zachary Orr. We expect to see him some today, but he is nursing a shoulder injury that he suffered versus Hampton-Sydney, and thus he won't be getting the start today. His action, if at all, will be limited today after the shoulder injury. The offensive line for the Tornadoes, at left tackle, Brody Lindsay, Bernard Wirtz at the left guard position. Josh Blackstock gets the start at center. Another injury from that opening game versus Hampton-Sydney. Jordan Lindsay, the starting center. We expect to see some Lindsay, but again, precautionary, not going to get the majority of the snaps today, most likely even a game time decision in terms of Jordan Lindsay. LaRoderick Rucker at the right guard position, Eli Ward at the right tackle position. Tight end will be Ian Castellanos and the fullback Blake Shepard. And once again, the quarterback for the Tornadoes, Ethan Beamish. Let's take a look at the Tornado defense. The defensive line, such a big strength of the Tornadoes. Hot Rod Fenton and Robert Dorsey, the two defensive ends. Starting defensive tackles, Ernest Smith and Trey Williams. Also expect to see a lot of Obadiah Grimes, Antonio King, Chase Pfeiffer, and Zion Wilson. Nicholas Schultes we expect to see as well from the defensive line spot. Also, Devon Taylor, expect to see him at that defensive line position. The linebackers, Adam Chaney, Hunter Davis, and Bailey Ramey. Ramey had a huge day in terms of tackles versus Hampton Sydney. Brooks Ashford Jr. and Mason Tanner back up those three. And then the secondary, James Woods and Jamari McDaniel at the cornerback positions, Justice Redmond and Carter Rollerson at the safety positions. The nickelback is Kentrell Holloway. And that's your Tornado starting defense. Let's take a look at Belhaven's starting offense under the direction of the signal caller Blake Kirby, the senior. He wears number 15. Wide receivers R.J. Garrison and Jacoby James Grace. Tight end is Zion Booth. And the offensive line for the Blazers, Gabe Rankins, Jordan Irves, Michael Anderson, Luke Edmondson, and Eli Bayless. Also, we'll see plenty of Erwin Reed and Cooper Tolo in this matchup, along with Deontay Galashaw and Devin Daniels at the running back position. Defense for Belhaven. The defensive line, Reese Benoit, Cato Jacobs, Jaheim Burkett. Linebackers, Colton Jones, Wyatt Beck, and Tyler Miller. And the secondary, the defensive backs for Belhaven, Jaden Jones, D. Gray, Josiah Raymond, Carius Hodgins, and Cornelius Clay. So there's your starting lineups for both sides, Tornadoes and Blazers. About 21 minutes away from getting things started here at Eyes Lamel Family Field. Obviously a big matchup as both these teams start up USA South Conference play this afternoon. Well, just moments ago, we had the chance to catch up with head coach Bill Kyatt to get some final words from the head coach of the Tornadoes prior to this matchup with Belhaven. Joined once again by head coach Bill Kyatt on the just minutes away from the start of Belhaven versus Brevard College. USA South Conference opener. Coach, could you describe the week of preparation and heading into this matchup versus Belhaven?
Well, one thing that we knew is that Belhaven Blazers, we've never beaten them. So that's the first thing. It's an opponent that we have no wins against. The second thing that we know is that they are the king of the USA South. They are the reigning champions, so until someone knocks them off, that will be their title. So that's what we know about the opponent, but this week's focus was really on us. And we had some issues last week. One was with penalties, which we absolutely must reduce this week. And the second thing is we had a lot of procedural issues that are typical in a first game, but they were far more than I would have liked to see in a season opener.
In terms of the matchup, when Belhaven has the ball, they're known for having this powerful offensive line. What's going to be the key for the Tornado defense?
To be technically sound. So whatever our assignment is, whatever gap we need to be in, we need to fill those gaps and make sure we don't give them any running lanes whatsoever.
And then on the offensive end for the Tornadoes, obviously Belhaven, talented group on the defensive side as well. What's going to be the key to the Tornadoes moving the ball offensively?
Well, we have to understand that they have plenty of returners. Almost the entire unit is a returning player. So for us offensively, it's that we have to execute what we prepared for during the week. So sometimes on game days, the look is a little bit different than what you saw during scout team during the week, and we can't get flustered when those things appear for us and go ahead and do what we know how to do.
Very good, Coach. Best of luck today, USA South Conference opener.
Okay.
So that was head coach Bill Kyatt at the helm of the Brevard College Tornadoes, now in his 8th season leading the Tornado football program. Do want to mention the coaching staff of the Tornadoes, a talented group, all sorts of NFL experience, along with a group of young coaches, some of who have professional football experience themselves. Others are great examples of Brevard College alumni sticking around and giving back and launching their careers right here at Brevard College. Martin Bayless is the general manager and senior defensive coordinator, director of academic success. Coach Bayless has coached at numerous NFL stops, along with NCAA Division I stops. He's currently coaching during the springtime in the UFL for the St. Louis Battlehawks under head coach Anthony Becht. That team had a big season in the UFL last year. Bayless, as a player, very accomplished as well. Set the all-time NCAA Division I career interceptions record as a player for Bowling Green, and then went on as a fourth-round draft pick in the NFL, played for the Chiefs, the Chargers, amongst other stops, and certainly a big asset for Brevard College to have a coach of Martin Bayless's pedigree on staff. Everett Lindsay, another coach with a bunch of NFL experience, the assistant head coach and run game coordinator. He oversees the offensive line here at Brevard College. Coach Lindsay played several years in the NFL also after a heralded career in college at Ole Miss. And Coach Lindsay is one of the very few, and at least at one time was the only player, to get starts in the NFL at every offensive line position. So he started at center, right guard, left tackle, right tackle. Very versatile, very knowledgeable offensive line coach, Everett Lindsay. Chris Symington, ton of experience there as well. Played in his college days for some of those great Colorado Buffaloes teams of the 1980s and early 90s. He's the senior offensive coordinator, our running backs coach. And Kurt Gavea, the senior defensive analyst and linebackers coach. Kurt Gavea has a pair of Super Bowl rings. Defensive end for the Washington Commanders, back then called the Washington Redskins. They won a pair of Super Bowls with Gavea as the defensive end, and Gavea even had a quarterback sack in one of those Super Bowls. So when you think about it, just some incredible NFL history when we talk about this coaching staff, and that includes Coach Kyatt, who spent time in the NFL as well. His playing career, he spent time with the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and Panthers as a tight end after a college career at Duke University. The rest of the Tornado coaching staff, Matt Helton handles special teams. Case Cookus, another guy with a professional playing experience. He's the pass game coordinator. Senior offensive analyst, Zach Dysert, another professional quarterback who's on the staff. Andrew Jordan Jr., the defensive line coach. Jaden O'Leary, a Tornado alum, handles the fullbacks. Brandon Crawford, assistant defensive line coach. Miles Hayes, offensive quality control, also works with the QBs. Brandon Unanks, director of high school relations, assistant offensive line coach. Chris Hatch, Dennis Lumpkin, DJ Taylor, Toby Naylor, and Tony Belcher round out the staff. Now Belcher, Naylor, DJ Taylor, Unanks, Miles Hayes, Brandon Crawford, Jaden O'Leary, all Brevard College alumni. So just wanted to take a moment to describe just the breadth of experience with that Brevard College coaching staff. And they'll match up against a first-year head coach. Now, we saw a first-year head coach with Hampton-Sydney last week get his first career win as a head coach. He's the longtime defensive coordinator for Washington Jefferson, now in charge of Hampton-Sydney. Well, first-year head coach for Belhaven, C.J. Nightingale, and his staff, Johnston McIntyre, Josh Sharon, Brady Carson, Maiwa Asungunla, Bradley Foley, Ty Nix, Javon Harris, Daniel Clark, and Xavion Stevens. So there's your coaching matchup, sort of the game within the game, and certainly it'll be a great matchup on the field we are anticipating here in this USA South Conference opener. Tornadoes looking to bounce back from a 50-30 defeat from Hampton-Sydney. Kind of a baffling contest with the Tornadoes playing so well, looked very much in control through three quarters, then 30 unanswered points by Hampton-Sydney in that fourth quarter. And certainly a week of reflection, but also a week where you try to turn the page quickly, but at the same time learn from everything that went wrong in that one, which included some busted coverages, allowing some from big plays for Hampton-Sydney in that fourth quarter, and then also the penalties were certainly an issue for the Tornadoes. But looking to bounce back today, and the good news is the season in lots of ways begins today, since it's the USA South Conference season opener. Do want to mention Zachary Orr's performance versus Hampton-Sydney. Just an incredible performance for the graduate wide receiver. One of the top performances across all of NCAA Division III. We even saw some publicity for his performance on the national level. Charleston, South Carolina native, 205 yards on 8 catches. That included an 82-yard reception where he broke numerous Hampton-Sydney tackles early in that contest. And he became the second Tornado to go over 200 yards receiving. Or check that, the first time since Tyler Gregory to go over 200 yards. Gregory, 14 catches, 225 yards in 2017. Do want to give a shout out to Tyler. We were a little off in our calculations last week. We thought Orr's performance broke a school record, but that in fact is continued to be held by Tyler Gregory, 225 yards in 2017 versus NC Wesleyan, Orr with 205. But continue to keep an eye on Zachary Orr, as he and Ethan Beamish love working together. And Orr is an exceptional wide receiver and was certainly safe to call him the #1 target of Ethan Beamish. So we'll continue to watch Zachary Orr. A few other highlights from Hampton-Sydney. Chancellor Lee Parker with a career-high 3 rushing touchdowns. What we saw when the Tornado offense was working well, Tornadoes would move the ball down the field, often Beamish and Orr working together amongst other aspects of the passing game. But then Lee Parker has a knack of punching it in from inside the 10. 3 touchdowns rushing in that one. And also saw a pick 6 from senior defensive back James Woods. Big interception return that created all sorts of momentum for the Tornadoes. And then a career-high 13 tackles from junior linebacker Bailey Ramey. Also need to mention Robert Dorsey, who last year was the NCAA leader across of all of Division III in forced fumbles per game. There's hardware to show for it in the lobby of the Boshemer Gymnasium in the trophy case. But Dorsey, back where he left off from 2023, he had 10 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble versus Hampton-Sydney. So 11 minutes until we get things started between the Tornadoes and the Blazers on a warm September afternoon in the mountains of western North Carolina. Belhaven and Brevard coming up shortly.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
And the Tornadoes taking the field. Belhaven on their way to the Islamel Family Field turf as well. And in just a matter of moments, we'll have today's invocation from Campus Minister Sherrod Kreisman and also rendition of the national anthem from Grace Vaught. Stick with us at Islamel Family Field, Belhaven and Brevard College football coming up shortly. And the Belhaven Blazers making their way to the Islamel Family Field turf as well. As we'll turn it over to public address announcer Ray Gill, followed by our invocation and national anthem.
Please bow your heads and join us for today's invocation provided by BC Campus Minister, Mr. Sherrod Kreisman.
Let us pray. We are blessed by the beauty of this day, by the beauty of this space, by all of us who stand in this space. Bless the student athletes, coaches, refs, trainers, everyone who stands on this field, all of us who stand and await. Bless us to be the highest sportsmen and women as we possibly can be. Bless this moment, keep them safe and in your care, and we are grateful. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing and remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem performed today by Grace Vaught from the Brevard College School of Music.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic rendition of the national anthem from Brevard College's very own Grace Vaught. Appreciate her contributions to Brevard College, and we've had the privilege of having Grace perform the national anthem many times over her Brevard College career. Also, big thanks to Sherrod Kreisman, campus minister, and also public address announcer Ray Gill. Kreisman and Gill, both alums of Brevard College. As we'll now have the coin flip between the two teams. Bailey Ramey and Ethan Beamish, the captains for the NATOs. So Brevard wins the toss and chooses to receive. So Brevard will have the football first to start this USA South Conference opener for these two teams. So Tornadoes decide to put the ball in the offensive hands to start this contest. As Reggie Taylor, who busted off an impressive return in the opener versus Hampton-Sydney. Also George Rennie back deep for the Tornadoes. And kicking off for Belhaven is Kyle Norris, wears number 88. So at precisely 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 o'clock Central Time, for those watching back in Mississippi, we are underway here in the USA South Conference opener for these two teams. Reggie Taylor takes the return and is met right around the 20 and then gang tackled and pushed back. Then a flag comes out. So a early flag on the first play of the game. Reggie Taylor with the return. We'll see what the flag's all about. It's a 10-yard holding penalty on the Tornadoes kickoff return team, so certainly not the way Brevard wanted to start. The penalty is a real issue versus Hampton-Sydney. 13 penalties for 121 yards. One of the keys that we're going to keep an eye on throughout this game. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes at their own 11. Ethan Beamish in the shotgun position. Screen pass to Deaton. And Deaton moves forward. Positive gain there. We'll call it 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Actually, more of a 2nd and 4 situation from the 17. Nice gainer there on an inventive screen pass to Deaton. Handoff here to Chancellor Lee Parker, and Lee Parker finds an opening, and that's a first down for the Tornadoes. Gained about a dozen yards there. Nice start for the Tornadoes backfield. Chancellor Lee Parker and also Deaton.
That's a Brevard College first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Nados at their own 29. Beamish under center, an underneath handoff there to Deaton. So 3 plays, and the Tornadoes running backs have been a part of all 3. A screen pass and then 2 straight rushes. So now 2nd and 9 after a short gain there for Brevard College. Rennie, the wide receiver, in motion. Beamish rolls out to his right. He's going to keep it himself and able to move across the 35-yard line to the 36. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 3 from the 36. check that. The spot, they actually moved it back a little bit. So back to the 35. So make it 3rd and 4. So Beamish in the shotgun position. Deaton to his right in the backfield. And some heavy pressure, and that's going to be a quarterback sack for Jimmy Bird of Belhaven. Jimmy Bird able to quickly get to Ethan Beamish, and Tornadoes offense will have to leave the field after the quarterback sack by Jimmy Bird, sophomore out of Saraland, Alabama, Saraland High School. And that'll bring up a punting situation here. Samuel Vargas will handle those duties. Cooper Tallow, where's number 1, deep. And after a 33-yard punt, a short return, Tornadoes, James Woods there. James Woods with the tackle. And so first look at the Tornado defense as Belhaven's offense takes the field. Blake Kirby, the quarterback. Galashaw in the backfield, single back, double tight end formation. Rush right up the middle, gain of 3. Robert Dorsey there on the tackle. Dorsey, a great start to his junior season last week versus Hampton-Sydney with 10 tackles. So shotgun for Kirby. 2 wide receivers to his right. Galashaw in the backfield to his immediate left. Handoff to Galashaw. And Tornadoes there defensively. Some great penetration initially by Bailey Ramey, and then ultimately a host of Tornadoes led by Justice Redmond bring down Galloway. So two solid plays against the run for the Tornado defense to start this contest. After a 3-yard gain, that was a loss of 1. That brings up 3rd down. Kirby out to pass. Nice coverage downfield. Pass is incomplete as Carter Rollerson was there on the coverage. Also Kentrell Holloway in that nickel back position, and a quick 3 and out for the Tornadoes defense. So that'll bring up the first punting situation for Belhaven. Constantine Hansis will handle the punting duties. Zachary Orr back deep. Snap is high, but Hansis able to handle things. There is a flag down. Punt is just an absolute beauty as it's down at the 5. A 46-yard punt, and with the precision of a PGA golfer's short iron, able to land that right at the 5. But there's a flag on the play. So with 9:53 to play, scoreless between the Tornadoes and the Blazers. The penalty was an offsides call on the Tornadoes defense. The penalties declined. You can't blame them. What a beautiful punt down at the 5-yard line. So Tornadoes, difficult starting field position to start this contest. Started at Tornadoes' own 11 on the opening drive after a penalty on a kickoff return, and now starting from the Nado's own 5. Rush here to Lee Parker, and another big gainer for Chancellor Lee Parker. He got through that front 7 very quickly, eventually brought down by the safety Cornelius Clay, and Chancellor Lee Parker with another significant gain.
That's a Brevard College first down.
So fresh set of downs for the Nados. It's Lee Parker once again, and this time he's ankle tackled by Wyatt Beck, the middle linebacker for Belhaven. Chancellor Lee Parker, his 3rd carry, 28 yards thus far. So I'll bring up 2nd and 8 from the 21. Chancellor Lee Parker remains in the backfield. Reggie Taylor, the 2nd, split out to the near side. Ian Castellanos at the tight end position. Here comes Lee Parker in motion. Now split out wide to his right. Pass. Complete, a short gain to Zachary Orr. So the first catch for Orr, who had that enormous performance in week 1. So that'll bring up a 3rd down situation for the Tornadoes. Tornadoes 0 for 1 thus far on 3rd down. George Rennie and Reggie Taylor, the 2nd, split out to the right. Zachary Orr in motion to the left. A flag has flown. There's a completed pass, but this might be coming back as Adam Douglas able to bring in the reception. But might have been a false start on the Nados. Actually, a holding call is the ruling. So a 10-yard penalty there is going to make it a 3rd and 14 situation after an apparent first down to Adam Douglas. That's a costly penalty. So ball spotted at the 15, and the assignment that much tougher for the Nados. 3rd and 14. And Ethan Beamish, 3 wide receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Draw play, hands it off to Orr. And Orr is stopped after a short gain, and that'll bring on the punting unit. Jaden Jones with the tackle. Belhaven was not fooled by that play call. Jaden Jones, senior from Greenville, Mississippi. 7 minutes and counting here in the first quarter. 2nd punt of the contest for Samuel Vargas. Back deep is Cooper Tillo. And Tullo with the fair catch. It'll be a 33-yard punt. Then a late flag comes in on special teams. We'll see what it's all about. Had a lot of laundry on the Islamo Family Field turf already, and we still have 6:39 to play in the first quarter. So this penalty will go against Belhaven, a 10-yard penalty, holding, which that's the kind of thing that'll drive a head coach and a special team coordinator absolutely crazy because it was holding on a fair catch. So it's not like you aided on that return any to try to help your guy bust one. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Belhaven 39. Kirby in the shotgun position. Erwin Reed able to catch the ball on the screen pass and then just on a dime able to change directions there. And eventually brought down, but it's a 1st down. Really nifty run after catch there for Erwin Reed. And now Belhaven moving quickly. And passed again to Reed. This one incomplete. There was some pressure on Kirby. Obadiah Grimes. Also Robert Dorsey in the backfield. That made things tough on Kirby, who had to rush that throw to Reed. Belhaven in the visiting white uniforms with the green pants, yellow trim. Tornadoes in their home blue uniforms with the silver pants, silver helmets. Pass, able to complete it, close to the marker, but a couple yards short, as Woods brings down Jacoby James Grace, senior from Rayville, Louisiana. So it'll be 3rd and short. Belhaven able to complete the pass. Tornadoes had multiple defenders there, eventually brought down by Hunter Davis, but an impressive pass play there from Kirby, who's now 3 for 5 in the early goings of this one. Scoreless here, Tornadoes and Blazers. 5:20 to play, quarter number 1. Belhaven's offensive line was talked about quite a bit this week by the Brevard College coaching staff, as Cooper Tallow able to get a quick hitter there to the near side, and that'll be a 1st down. So another 1st down for the Blazers. Handoff there to R.J. Garrison. Brought down quickly by the NATOs. Seems like the Blazers really like to get the ball very quickly into the hands of their playmakers. That time Garrison. The Tornadoes were there defensively. Bailey Ramey making the play. So 2nd and 9. Kirby under center. Running play there as Davis with another tackle. Caleb Galashaw with the rush. So that'll bring up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down. Fans, it's here for your Tornado defense. It's 3rd down.
Belhaven 1 of 2 on 3rd down thus far. 3rd and 4 this time. And nice play there by the Tornadoes defense As Galashaw got the carry once again, Obadiah Grimes there defensively. And that'll bring up decision time for Belhaven. But it looks like the field goal unit is out. So despite a 4th and short opportunity, about 4th and 2, Belhaven decides to attempt a field goal here. It'll be from 31 yards. Hansis. Kick is up. And from 31 yards, it's good. And the Blazers are on the scoreboard first with a 3-0 lead. Nice job by the Tornadoes defense to lock in there as the Blazers were approaching the red zone of Brevard College. But Blazers able to come away with 3 points on the scoring drive. Your score at Ines Lamel Family Field, Belhaven 3, Tornado 0. So a 3-0 advantage for the Blazers as Kyle Norris will kick things off. Back deep, George Rennie and Reggie Taylor, the second for Brevard College on the kickoff return team. Toe meets leather. And Taylor from the 6. Taylor able to find an opening and out across the 30. A nice return from Reggie Taylor. The ultra-quick Reggie Taylor, member of the Brevard College track and field program as well. Known as the fastest man in 2024 at Brevard College. Although, word on the street is there's a Tornado newcomer on the football side of things who is challenging for that crown. We'll tell you about him a little later. May see him on some punt returns. Meanwhile, Jaden Deaton on the left of Beamish. Rush here, and then busting up ahead. Deaton all the way to the 34. Pushed out of bounds by D. Gray. Big gain there for the Nados. Biggest play by either team. A 33-yard gain for Jaden Deaton. Deaton, the senior running back. By the way, it's worth mentioning Deaton from New Albany, Mississippi. It makes you wonder if he has any old high school connections with some of these Belhaven players. Meanwhile, rush there, gain of 4, brought down by Wyatt Beck. It was Chancellor Lee Parker on the carry. So a 33-yard rush for Jaden Deaton. That's a career long for Deaton in a Tornado uniform. 2nd and 6 from the 30. Beamish with Chancellor Lee Parker on his left. Drops back to pass. Had Lee Parker in the flat momentarily, and now under pressure from Jimmy Bird, who had that quarterback sack earlier. Beamish intends it for Lee Parker, but for all practical purposes, seemed to have thrown it away there as well. That'll bring on 3rd down as Cooper Hogan, who was in the game, good to see him in action. Hogan nicked up in that Hampton-Sydney game. He checks out. A different unit checks in, including Adam Douglas here on this near side from the receiving position. Big third down for the Tornadoes. 3rd and 6. Beamish chased out of the pocket, able to play it forward, and incomplete. There was 2 wide receivers for Brevard College there who collided. There was 3 defenders. Heavy traffic. George Rennie had it momentarily as Rennie and Adam Douglas were both there in those blue jerseys. Injury on the field. Stick with us. 3-0 Blazers. So George Rennie, the injured Tornado, shaken up on the play, but able to leave the field on his own strength. Nice applause from the faithful here at Islamel Family Field. So that'll bring up 4th down. So a field goal attempt now from 47 yards from Hugo Taylor. Anything within 50. Coach Kyatt says he's comfortable with Taylor. Taylor with the kick. It's up. And just missing there. So missed field goal attempt. And Belhaven will take over the ball with 31 seconds to play in the first quarter. Blazers 3, Tornadoes 0. So 1st and 10 for Belhaven at their own 30. Blake Kirby going back to work, hands off to Galashaw. And the Tornadoes defense, Robert Dorsey with a huge tackle for loss there. Dorsey busting into the backfield and able to knock down Galashaw for a big loss. Loss of 6 on the play. Big time play there from Robert Dorsey. Oh my. So 2nd down and 16. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Big play there defensively from Robert Dorsey as we head to the second quarter. Your score, Blazers 3, Tornadoes 0.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Back here at Islamel Family Field, start of quarter number 2. First quarter stats. Brevard actually outgaining Belhaven despite trailing 3-0. Pass there. And able to find R.J. Garrison for a decent gain. That'll make up bring up 3rd down and manageable, 3rd and 6. Pass here to the far side. Caught once again by Garrison. So again, these quick release, these quick hitters from Kirby. And another first down for Belhaven. Belhaven now 4 first downs on the game. Brevard with 3. Another quick hitter and another completion to who else? R.J. Garrison. 3 consecutive passes to Garrison. And then a timeout on the field. It's going to be timeout for Brevard. So a 12-yarder to Garrison. A 5-yarder to Garrison. Then another first down gain there for R.J. Garrison. Certainly a favorite target for Blake Kirby. Kirby, a very efficient 7 of 9 passing. That's 78% for 57 yards. He was sacked once. And Garrison, as we mentioned, 3 straight catches for 38 yards. A timeout on the field as Brevard College takes their first of 3 timeouts here in the first half. Congratulations to the Brevard College volleyball team. A win earlier today as Brevard took down NC Wesleyan in 4 sets to start their USA South Conference play. 1st and 10 from the 38 of Brevard. Play action pass. Kirby looking upfield, able to thread the needle there. A beautiful connection to Jacoby James Grace and a 38-yard touchdown for Belhaven. Tornadoes had some defenders there. Kirby able to thread the needle to find James Grace. And extra point coming now from Hansis. First touchdown for either team. And extra point is up and good. So 10-0, Belhaven on top. A 38-yard touchdown to Jacoby James Grace. James Grace now with 3 catches for 56 yards and that touchdown. Kirby now 8 of 10 for 116 yards and a touchdown. So Belhaven able to extend their lead to 10-0 early here in this second quarter. We mentioned Brevard volleyball. They defeated NC Wesleyan earlier today. They're now taking on the host of that tri-match. Or check that, the 3rd team in that tri-match, Southern Virginia. That competition happening at NC Wesleyan. So kickoff here, Kyle Norris will do the honors. George Rennie and Reggie Taylor back deep. From the 6, here's Taylor. Taylor gang tackled at the 23. And then a late flag flies. So we'll see what this is all about. Might have been some extracurricular after the tackle. And it's going to be against Belhaven. an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so 15-yard penalty on Belhaven. And that'll certainly help the Tornadoes' cause in terms of field position to start this drive, as the ball is marked off all the way to the 39-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Nados from the 39. Jayton Deaton in the backfield for Brevard. Joseph Cuellar into the contest. Rush here, and Belhaven's there defensively. It'll be a tackle for loss. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, it looks like he did, so 2nd and 10, but Hodgins there. Amongst several other Blazers. So 2nd and 10 from the 39. Taylor in motion. Play action. Beamish steps out of the pocket. Now he's going to take it himself, able to elude a defender and work his way to the first down marker. That'll be a first down for the Tornadoes. Beamish able to juke out a Belhaven defender. Looked like Tyler Miller tried to wrap him up, but Beamish with what you hear in soccer as the Olay. So 1st and 10 from the 49, 12:38 and counting here in this second quarter. Jack Spots in motion for the Tornadoes. Flag on the play. As just getting back to the line of scrimmage there was Chancellor Lee Parker. We'll see what the flag's all about. And there's an injured player on the play as well. A Belhaven player on the far side, Jaden Jones, able to get up and head to the sideline. An illegal formation call on the Nados, so that'll be 5-yard penalty. Third penalty of the game for Brevard. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 44. Tornadoes offensive line, Brody Lindsay, Bernard Wirtz. Josh Blackstock got the start at center. LaRoderick Rucker, Eli Ward. Beamish back to pass. And incomplete. Was looking for Seth Marshall. Wyatt Beck, nice job defensively to break that up. So I'll bring up 2nd and 15. Some different personnel checking in. Ian Castellanos, amongst others. Castellanos, the graduate from Miami, Florida, Southwest High School. 2nd and 15. Rush here to Chancellor Lee Parker. Lee Parker continues to bulldoze his way forward back to the original line of scrimmage, gain of 5. So that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Nados. Brevard 0 of 3 on 3rd down, and this is certainly a tough assignment, 3rd and 10. Penalty was certainly a factor in creating this situation. So 3rd and 10 from the 49. Beamish. Quick release there, able to find his favorite target, Zachary Orr, and that's a first down for the Tornadoes. Orr across the 30. Gain of 22 on the play. So beautiful connection there As Joseph Cuellar checks in this package here now for the Tornadoes on first down. Adam Douglas and Seth Marshall out to the right. Now Reggie Taylor, the second, joins him. Then a quick hitter to Taylor. Taylor taken down by multiple defenders. Wyatt Beck leading the way. We've called his name a bunch. Tackle for loss on the short pass play. Wyatt Beck, junior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge, the home of Louisiana State University. Try to get you some scores from throughout college football at halftime. 2nd and 12 from the 31. Beamish able to find Reggie Taylor. Taylor moves upfield. Taylor on the move all the way down inside the 5. Big time pass and catch there. Beamish to Reggie Taylor. A 27-yard connection for Beamish and Taylor. And Tornadoes with their best scoring opportunity of the contest thus far, all the way down to the 4-yard line. Chancellor Lee Parker in the backfield. Beamish under center. Rush to Lee Parker. And Belhaven's there defensively. Several Belhaven defenders. Cato Jacobs taking up a lot of space there in the middle. Roderick Gordon was there as well. Cato Jacobs wears number 99, all 6 foot 293 of them. So 2nd and goal from the 5. Shotgun for Beamish. Jaden Deaton to his right, or in motion. Beamish, couple steps back, fires away, touchdown Tornadoes. Flag flies though, we'll see what the flag's all about. So we'll see if the touchdown stands or not with the penalty marker. Nice play call, nice job finding Taylor for the apparent touchdown. We'll see what the flag's all about. So the touchdown counts in unsportsmanlike conduct on Brevard College after the play. It'll be assessed on this point after touchdown attempt. So it's a PAT from 35 yards out for Hugo Taylor. But the touchdown does count. Kick is up. And true. Reggie Taylor with the touchdown. Hugo Taylor with the point after. And Tornadoes now trailing 10-7 with 8:30 to play here in the second quarter at Lamel Family Field. So Tornadoes able to get 7 points, cut the deficit to 10-7 on the 5-yard touchdown reception by Reggie Taylor from Ethan Beamish. Taylor making his first career start at wide receiver for the Tornadoes today. As Hatch with the return, able to bounce off a couple of Tornado defenders. Outstanding scoring drive for the Tornadoes. 10 plays, 60 yards, chewed up 5 minutes and 23 seconds, and capped off by that touchdown. Now Belhaven will go back to work offensively. Tornadoes defense back on the field as well. Galashaw in the backfield with the quarterback, the senior Blake Kirby, in the shotgun position. 8:23 to play here in the second. Quick hitter there, and that'll be a first down for James Grace. So Kirby continues highly efficient, 9 of 11 throwing the ball. Rush here from Galashaw, and that's going to be another first down. Galashaw leaps over a Tornado defender. We've been talking about track and field, a hurdle move there. There is a flag on the play all the way back at the 49. This might be coming back. So holding penalty against Belhaven. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So we'll replay first down with the ball spotted all the way back at the 39. Hey, the Tornadoes had a costly penalty like that in the first quarter. An apparent first down brought way back. Same deal here for Belhaven. So it'll be 1st and 19 from the 39. And another quick hitter to James Grace. James Woods, I think he was thinking pick 6 again, jumping that pass on that far sideline. Woods had a pick 6 in game 1 of this season. So 2nd and 7 from the 50. 7:15 and counting, quarter number 2. A 3-point ball game between these two USA South Conference powers. Rush here from Galashaw. Gain of 3. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Belhaven hitting on 50% of their 3rd down attempts, 2 of 4. James Grace, the receiver on the near side. Cooper Tulo to the inside of him. Reed in motion. And the pass to Reed is complete, and Reed quickly steps out of bounds. Fanning was there defensively for the NATOs. And this quick-hitting passing offense of Belhaven with another first down there. That's 8 first downs for the game for the Blazers. 6 first downs thus far for the Tornadoes. 1st and 10 from the 39. Pass there to Tulo, and Tulo with some yards after the catch. Brought down by Robert Dorsey. And another first down for the Blazers. feel like the Tornado defense has been on the field a long time this drive. Some new personnel checking in. Hunter Davis at linebacker position. Adam Cheney to his left. Brooks Ashford Jr. into the game as well. Rush there for a short gain. Obadiah Grimes with some penetration. And tackle there by Ernest Smith. Ernest Smith, senior from Barnwell, South Carolina, Barnwell High School. Bring up 2nd and 9. Smith doing a lot of the dirty work there, that defensive tackle position. 4:30 and counting. Belhaven controlling the ball on this drive. Pass there. Tornadoes with the pass breakup. Really nicely done. James Woods with the breakup. Excellent coverage, and then able to break up the would-be reception. That'll bring up 3rd down. Third and 9. From the 24. Kirby with Galashaw to his right. Tulo in motion, and we're going to have a timeout. Timeout for Belhaven. So they will regroup and come up with a play call here. 3rd and 9 here in the second quarter. 4:21 to play. Blazers 10, Tornadoes 7.
Probably one of the prettiest places on the earth. And to come to somewhere where it's such a tight-knit community, where everybody has your back, I mean, you're not going to find that anywhere else at bigger schools.
I like to go hang out at the coffee shop, sit outside at the picnic tables, maybe do a little bit of homework there, and just socialize because there's always somebody that I know there.
Brevard does make it easy to come here. The admission process is very simple.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
So 3rd and 9 coming out of the timeout for the Belhaven Blazers. Garrison in motion. The snap to Kirby. Heavy pressure for the Nados, and Tornadoes fanning with the pass breakup. Kentrell Holloway came from that nickelback position on a blitz. And he, along with Robert Dorsey, made things very uncomfortable for Blake Kirby. And then Fanning got it done on the secondary side of things. From 41 yards out, here's Hansis with the field goal attempt for Belhaven. Kick is up. Bit of a sidewinder, but somehow good. And the Blazers will tack on 3 more points. Hansis now with the second field goal. And 13-7 the lead for the Blazers, but nice stop defensively for the Nados after the Blazers were very much controlling possession there. A long 10-play, 42-yard drive. Which ends with a Hansis field goal from 41 yards and gives Belhaven the 13-7 advantage. George Rennie and Reggie Taylor II back deep for the Nados. Kyle Norris will kick off once again. From the 6-yard line, here's Reggie Taylor. Taylor showing off his speed across the 30. And able to bounce off of a final tackle there to gain even a couple more yards after it looked like he was apparently brought down. Taylor showing some toughness. And down at the 35, so nice starting field position for the Tornadoes here. 4:01 to play until halftime. Jaden Deaton, the lone back. Ethan Beamish under center. Hand off to Deaton, right up the middle. Deaton able to find the opening, very nicely done. So when we were getting to know Jaden Deaton, he's the sort of back who finds his opening, hangs back a little, lets his offensive line do the work, and then capitalize on those opportunities, and he did exactly that there. Really nicely done. Looked like he found a hole behind Bernard Wirtz, that left guard position. As Taylor in motion to his right. Beamish under some pressure, steps away, and he'll throw it away. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. No intentional grounding on the play. Cooper Hogan's checked back in. Adam Douglas into the contest as well at the wide receiver positions. Jaden Deaton to the right of Beamish. Hand off to Deaton. Deaton. That time, Belhaven snuffed him out, and no gain. Tyler Miller on the tackle. Tyler Miller, junior, Alabama native. Vast majority of the Blazers roster comes from a handful of states: Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. Jake Spots and George Rennie into the contest now. 4 wide receivers set for the Tornadoes. 5 on the possession clock. Beamish takes the snap. And Beamish takes it himself. Great scramble near the markers, but just shy. And so that'll bring up 4th and 1. And the Tornadoes will go for it here on 4th down. Bringing in a different package of players. Chancellor Lee Parker into the contest. Double tight end Ian Castellanos and also Joseph Cuellar. And it'll be the 2-minute timeout. A new rule instituted here in college football this season, similar to the NFL. And clock will be reset at 2 minutes. And
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no.
Think about this play call here on 4th and 1. So on 4th and 1, Tornadoes with an opportunity here. So looks like a similar package to what we saw before the 2-minute timeout. Castellanos and Cuellar into the game. Chancellor Lee Parker in the backfield. Handoff to Lee Parker, and that's a 1st down for the Nados. Nicely done. Hodgins eventually took him down. That left side of the line, Brody Lindsay, Bernard Wirtz. Wirtz, who holds all sorts of weightlifting records here at Brevard College. Able to show off some of that strength there in the trenches, and Tornadoes Now with 1:35 left to play, looking to get something here before the end of the half. Big first down there on a 4th down attempt. Beamish, back to pass. Rolls out to his left. And looked to take off and run again that time, but taken down by Tyler Miller. Clock continues to run. Tornadoes do have 2 timeouts. Tornadoes break huddle with 59 seconds to play here in the second quarter. 2nd and 9. Beamish able to find Chancellor Lee Parker, this time through the air. And Lee Parker able to make his way out of bounds with 45 seconds left to play. Heads up play there by Chance Lee Parker. Josiah Redmond brought him down. Rather pushed him out of bounds as Lee Parker with some awareness there. Now DJ Henderson into the contest. We're expecting to see Henderson in these 3rd down situations. Great at the blitz pickup type of role, but also can make himself available on 3rd down. Pass there, intercepted by Belhaven. An interception there by Carius Hodgins. And Tornadoes, who were moving the ball nicely on that drive heading towards the end of the first half, with the first turnover for either side. With 37 seconds left to play, Hodgin, the junior from Munford, Tennessee, with the interception. Great to see all sorts of Tornado fans here, including ones who attended the NASCAR race last night in Bristol. Appreciate the hustle getting back here for Brevard College football. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 from the 25. Deep shot here, and for a moment, James Woods had a beat on that. Holloway there defensively as well, intended for James Grace. That's the first deep shot we've seen from Kirby. Really adept at all those quick hitters to either side, but that time deep shot up the near side of the field. Maybe Belhaven trying to tack on a few more points here before the end of the first half. Rushing play here as Galashaw brought down. And after the one deep shot, that'll probably be it for the Blazers. And looks like the Blazers indeed will be content taking the 13-7 lead into the halftime locker room. So stick with us. We'll have first half stats and highlights a little later during this halftime break. Your score at the half, Blazers 13, Tornadoes 7.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at Islamel Family Field, your score at halftime, Belhaven 13, Brevard 7. USA South Conference opener for these two teams. Both teams looking for their first win of the 2024 season. Look at the first half statistics. Belhaven with 9 first downs compared to 8 for the Tornadoes. Rushing yards, a big advantage for Brevard. 106 rushing yards for the Tornadoes, just 13 for Belhaven. Receiving yards, the opposite story. 162 receiving yards for Belhaven, 68 for Brevard. Total yards just about even. Belhaven 175, Brevard 174. There was one turnover in this contest, a interception that the Tornadoes gave away to Belhaven late in that second quarter. Penalties, Belhaven 3 for 35 yards, Tornadoes 4 for 40 yards. Third down efficiency, Belhaven 3 of 6, Tornadoes just 1 of 6. Would love to see them improve in that area. Time of possession favors the Nados, 17 minutes to 12 for Belhaven. Individually, the Tornadoes, Ethan Beamish at the quarterback position, 7 for 12, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 68 yards. Reggie Taylor, the second, the leading receiver in his first career start at the position, 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. Zachary Orr, 2 catches for 26 yards. Chancellor Lee Parker and Jaden Deaton out of the backfield, each with 1 catch for 6 yards. Deaton, the leading rusher for Brevard, including a career-long 33-yard rush. He has 5 carries for 45 yards. Chancellor Lee Parker, 7 carries for 40 yards. Beamish took it himself on several plays, 5 carries for 18 yards. And Orr had a short rush as well, 1 for 3 yards. Defensively, Tornadoes, Bailey Ramey, McDaniel, and Schultes, all with 4 tackles to lead the Nados. Robert Dorsey able to get in on a tackle for loss, as did Justice Redmond. And the Dorsey sack, a big, big moment in this one. Hot Rod Fenton with a pair of quarterback hurries as well. Credit PBUs, also known as pass breakups, to both Woods and Fanning. Belhaven, their quarterback, Blake Kirby, 12 of 17. That's a 71% completion percentage, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked once. Then the Belhaven receivers, led by Jacoby James Grace, 5 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. R.J. Garrison had 3 catches for 38 yards. Cooper Tulo, 2 catches for 26 yards. And Reed had 2 catches for 18 yards. Leading rusher for Belhaven. Again, the Belhaven rushing attack really nullified by the Tornado defense in this one so far. 5 carries for 15 yards for Caleb Galashaw. So that's your story here, 13-7 Blazers on top. Let's take a look across college football. All sorts of notable games going on. Ohio State with a 35-14 advantage over Marshall in the third quarter. Clemson 45, NC State 7. That's in the third quarter. Florida leads Mississippi State in the third quarter, 28-21 in Starkville, Mississippi. Indiana with a 45-14 lead over Charlotte in the third. Maryland 24, Villanova 10 in the third quarter. And then the shocker of the early afternoon of college football, James Madison 53, North Carolina 21. That score at halftime, most points ever given up by the Tar Heels in a half to James Madison, who just a couple years ago was an FCS team. So some anxious times over there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina at the moment. Cincinnati 31, Houston 0. West Virginia 17, Kansas 14. Both those games in the third quarter. Tulane 30, Louisiana 19 in the third quarter. And all sorts of action throughout the day. Couple big matchups. USC plays Michigan. That's a 3:30 game. That's a Big Ten game, believe it or not. USC and Michigan now. Also, UCLA LSU will be in action at 3:30 as well. Utah, Oklahoma State later today, along with several other matchups. Tennessee at Oklahoma, a big one this evening. So that catches you up across college football. Appreciate you spending your time with us on this busy college football Saturday, where Belhaven leads Brevard 13-7. Across the USA South Conference, a couple other games going on. Southern Virginia in Maryville in action in Buena Vista, Virginia. Score update from that one. Maryville 35, Southern Virginia 0. At Southern Virginia's home field. So all Maryville in that contest. Also, Huntington playing NC Wesleyan in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And Huntington with a 42-21 lead over NC Wesleyan. So big leads for both Maryville and Huntington. A very competitive game here between Belhaven and Brevard. Later this evening, 6 o'clock, Greensboro will take on Methodist in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So Belhaven will receive here in this second half. After the Tornadoes won the toss, elected to receive to start this game. So there's a number change. On these special teams, it is quite the puzzle to figure out if you're a operations manager for a football program. All the jerseys, the numbers, the names, duplicate numbers, enough to make your head spin. Toe meets leather here to start the second half. Nick Akis with the kickoff for the NATOs. And then Akis tried to make the tackle there, somehow staying in bounds was D. Gray. So D. Gray shaken up on the play. Big time return, meanwhile. But it's coming back. A holding penalty on Belhaven. So what was a significant return that was going to give Belhaven field position in Brevard territory, this is coming all the way back. Just inside the 10-yard line as D. Gray heads to the sidelines. He was injured on the play. Helped off by the athletic trainers from Belhaven. So 1st and 10 from the 10. And Belhaven's offense will go back to work. Kirby at the quarterback position. Handoff to Galashaw. And the Tornadoes defense has snuffed out any sort of rushing attempt for Belhaven virtually all game long. And another big stop there. Dylan James getting up there in the action. But that front for Brevard, Trey Williams in the middle of that defensive line. Also Ernest Smith. They line up with the electric duo of Robert Dorsey and Hot Rod Fitton on either side of them on the edges. Galashaw now in motion, takes a screen pass, and some nice blocking up ahead. He's able to get out of bounds, a solid gain. So Galashaw able to create a 3rd and short opportunity for Belhaven. Kirby under center. Handoff to Galashaw. Tornadoes there defensively. That's a big-time stop on 3rd down by the Tornado defense, the Tornado run defense. Robert Dorsey, Bailey Ramey, Dylan James. That unit for the Tornadoes on this first possession of the second half coming up big, and Belhaven's pinned back pretty deep here for the punter, Kyle Norris. From the 16-yard line. The punt from Norris. Flags on the play. Pre-snap penalty. So plays whistle dead. It's going to be a false start on Belhaven. That'll push them back 5 more yards. So pin back Belhaven even further. So from the 11-yard line with Zachary Orr deep for the Tornadoes. Punt here from Norris. It was blocked. The Tornadoes there. And Tornadoes able to recover the blocked punt. And down inside the 5, Antonio King with the blocked punt. Recovered by the Nados. And a big play there on special teams. A big time play there for the Nados, and the Tornadoes turnover belt comes out. Antonio King. Meanwhile, here's the Tornadoes down deep in the red zone. Rush to Chancellor Lee Parker down at the 2. So it'll be 2nd and goal for the Tornadoes, trying to cash in after the blocked punt. Big time play for the Nados on special teams, just what the doctor ordered. Chancellor Lee Parker in the backfield. Power formation for the Nados. Blake Shepard into the game on that left side. Right up the middle goes Chancellor Lee Parker, and he's stopped right close to the goal line. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal. Power against power as this offensive line of the Tornadoes matches up against the defensive line of Belhaven. Power formation once again for the Tornadoes. 3rd and goal from the 1. Chancellor Lee Parker walks in. Touchdown, Nados. Chancellor Lee Parker punching it in. His 4th touchdown of 2024. And that ties this game up 13-13. Tornadoes capitalize on the opportunity after the blocked punt. Extra point coming here from Hugo Taylor. Nick Akis with the hold. Jamie Tinsley, the long snapper. Extra point is up and good. So the Tornadoes take their first lead of the contest, ahead 14-13, capitalizing big time on the block punt. So special teams lead to a Tornado touchdown. Tornadoes ahead 14-13, 11:16 to play in the 3rd quarter. So Ian Castellanos recovered that block punt. Antonio King blocked it. And then the Tornadoes capitalized with the Chancellor Lee Parker touchdown to take the 14-13 lead here in the 3rd quarter. Kickoff from Nick Akis. Over the head of TJ Hatch, and that'll be a touchback. So you can feel some momentum. You can hear the crowd start to pick up. Some of their energy. And a timeout on the field, momentarily at least. Looks like an injury timeout. Stick with us here. 11:16 to play, 3rd period. 14-13 Nados. Injured player was Bailey Ramey, as he's assisted by Associate Athletic Trainer Nicole Harshbarger. Caleb Galashaw in the backfield next to Blake Kirby. Momentum on the side of the Tornadoes. See if they can keep this momentum going here on the defensive side. And a great start to the series from the Tornadoes' perspective. Big tackle there from James Woods in the open field. Cooper Tulo with one of those quick hitters that we had seen from Kirby with so much success in the first half. And Woods there with the big-time stop. Tackle for loss there for James Woods. Had the pick 6 in the season opener. Senior from Lincolnton, North Carolina. And quarterback sack for the Tornadoes. Hot Rod Fenton there, Robert Dorsey, Obadiah Grimes. So back-to-back negative yardage for the Blazers. A tackle for loss, followed by a quarterback sack. Kirby, flag on the play. Pass incomplete. Receiver was out of bounds. Injured player on the field from Brevard, Hot Rod Fenton being attended to. It's going to be a hold against Belhaven. Penalties decline after the incomplete pass. Another 3 and out for the Tornado defense. So great start to this third quarter defensively for the NATOs. Back-to-back 3 and outs. So that brings up 4th down. And another punt situation. Last punt was blocked by Antonio King. Kyle Norris boots it away. It's a good punt. Fair caught by Orr at the 35. Marked down at the 34. Beautiful punt from Norris. Nice bounce back after the block punt. 47 yards. And Tornado's offense will take over from there. Jaden Deaton in the backfield. Beamish under center. Blake Shepard in motion. Rush there for Deaton, and nicely done. Across the 40 to the 41. Bring up 2nd and 3 from the 41. Tornadoes offensive line, Brody Lindsay, Bernard Wirtz on that left side, LaRoderick Rucker, Eli Ward on that right side. The center's Josh Blackstock. Another rush for Deaton, and that's going to be a first down, and you can see the movement of Deaton. Then he busts away all the way down to the 16-yard line. James Deaton. Had a 33-yard rush earlier, another big gain there. 44 yards, so career-high performance for Deaton. And another red zone opportunity for the Tornado offense as another carry for Deaton. Redmond comes up from his safety position to lay a big hit. My apologies, Josiah Raymond. Proper ID on that last tackle. Rush here, Chancellor Lee Parker able to find an opening and close to the marker there. That'll bring up 3rd and short. Deaton, by the way, 8 carries, 99 yards. Rush here for Chancellor Lee Parker at the goal line and good. Another touchdown for Chancellor Lee Parker. Talking about a player who has a knack for the end zone. His 5th touchdown of the season, his 2nd this afternoon. And just like that, 13 unanswered points for the Tornadoes to start this 3rd period. The big play in this one, the 44-yard run by Jaden Deaton. Hugo Taylor on for the extra point. Kick is up. And true. So Tornadoes take a 21-13 lead. 6:56 left to play in the 3rd period. 2nd touchdown of the day for Chancellor Lee Parker. And the NATOs, after that 6-yard rush for Chancellor Lee Parker, outscoring Belhaven 14-0 here in this 3rd quarter, and there's still 6:56 left to play. So kicking off for the Tornadoes will be Nick Akis. Akis, the senior from Inman, South Carolina, Northwestern High School. From the 10. Ball is loose. TJ Hatch with the return. Ball came loose. Nick Akis, the kicker, recovered it. Holloway forced the fumble. So a block punt and then a forced fumble on a kickoff that was recovered by the kicker, Nick Akis. The turnover belt comes out again. Holloway in absolute ecstasy on the sidelines. And the Tornadoes will go back to work offensively. 1st and 10 from the 36. Handoff, Chancellor Lee Parker, able to find that opening up the middle of the offensive line, and a gain of 8, maybe 9 yards, brought down eventually by Colton Jones. And the momentum, the energy, the Tornadoes feeling it on the field, in the stands, the drum lines drumming, the cheerleaders cheering. Student section feeling it as well. 2nd and 2 from the 27. Still a long way to go here, however. Tornadoes have to continue to take care of business. Rush here from Deaton. Deaton rush there down to the 19, gain of 8. Checking in is Hayden Schnell for the Tornadoes on the offensive line as Josh Blackstock checks out. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. Schnell coming in at that center position. Jordan Lindsay, who was the starting center in week 1 and played outstanding, graded very, very well. He got dinged up a little bit. Blackstock got the start. Now it's Hayden Schnell. Meanwhile, rush there from Jaden Deaton. No gain. Johnny Evans with the tackle out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Injury on the field. We'll take a quick timeout. 5:16 to play in the 3rd quarter. Tornadoes 21, Blazers 13. So, score update from around the world of Tornadoes athletics. The Brevard College volleyball team sweeping their 2 matches in USA South Conference play, wins over NC Wesleyan in Southern Virginia. Now 10-2 on the season. Best start in program history in an 8-match win streak. So big tip of the hat to head coach Abby Pardee and her staff. Well, we were concerned a bit about the offensive line when we saw Blackstock go to the sidelines. Jordan Lindsay has been out this contest as well, and LaRoderick Rucker now to the sidelines. So some shifting at the offensive line position for the NATOs. Meanwhile, pass there, finding Joseph Cuellar, and Cuellar with the touchdown. Oh my, the Tornadoes with an absolute explosion here in this third period. Joseph Cuellar. Kick is up and good. So 28-13, NATOs on top of the Blazers. 4:49 to play, third period. So Joseph Cuellar with his first career touchdown. And what a moment there as Tornadoes now ahead 28-13. 21 unanswered points here in this third quarter. Still got a ways to go, 4:49 here in the third, as Cuellar is congratulated by his teammates along that sideline. Cooper Tulo with a quality return there across the 35. And Tornadoes offense coming up with the 3 touchdowns here in this third period, but so much of it has come off those special teams for the Tornadoes. The block punt, the kickoff return, forced fumble recovered by Nick Akis. And the defense has played outstanding as well. 2 3-and-outs thus far here in the third quarter, as Blake Kirby try to regroup the Belhaven offense as the Blazers now trail by 15. Pass here, deep shot, and what a catch in heavy traffic by Erwin Reed. Flag on the play way back at the 33-yard line. So this one could be coming back. I was thrown into triple coverage. Reed leapt up and in dramatic fashion made the catch. But this is coming back. A holding call on Belhaven. So it'll be 1st and 20 for Belhaven. Another very costly penalty. What was a big, big gainer on a deep shot. It's coming all the way back. Now 1st and 20. Caleb Gallishaw in the backfield. Tulo in motion. Heavy pressure from the NATOs defensively. Obadiah Grimes was there. Also Adam Cheney. Big time quarterback knockdown there, making things tough on Kirby. 4:20 to play here in the third. 2nd and 20 from the 26. Tornadoes leading 28-13. Outscoring Belhaven 21-0 here in the third. Kirby. Quick pass there along the near sideline. R.J. Garrison with the catch. Defended there by Fanning. And that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Blazers. Zion Wilson is checked in. Big number 99 at that defensive tackle position.
Brings up 3rd and 16. Fans, a cheer for your Tornado defense.
Also Jordan Ramey into the contest on that D-line. And Robert Dorsey may have jumped there. But it's a false start on Belhaven. Dorsey was upset at himself, thought he had jumped. But another penalty on Belhaven, push him back even further. So that'll make this 3rd down that much more of a challenge for Belhaven. So it's 3rd and Hendersonville. And Blake Kirby from the 25. Kirby back to pass. Able to find an open wide receiver. Open field tackle there. Adam Cheney. Pass was to R.J. Garrison. 3 offensive possessions for Belhaven. 3 3-and-outs. So 0 first downs for Belhaven here in this 3rd quarter. Hats off to senior defensive coordinator Martin Bayless for the adjustments made at halftime. Punt here from Norris. 34 yards on the punt. Here's Zachary Orr on the return. Flag has flown. This may be coming back, but a big-time return there from Orr nonetheless. See what the flag's all about. You could see the speed of Orr in that open field. So penalty on the Tornadoes will push Brevard back after what seemed to be a big return from Zachary Orr. A block in the back is the penalty. On the return, so be brought back from the spot of the foul. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornado offense led by Ethan Beamish at the 38-yard line. Jaden Deaton in the backfield. Joseph Cuellar, who scored his first career touchdown at that tight end position. Rush here, gang tackled. A sea of humanity there at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a short gain of 2 yards as Castellanos checks in. Castellanos and Cuellar, the primary tight ends for the NATOs. Deaton in the backfield to the left of Beamish. Cooper Hogan into the game as well at the wide receiver position. Same with George Rennie. Pass here, quick hitter to Hogan. And incomplete on the pass breakup there. Cornelius Clay, where's number 11 for Belhaven, a New Orleans native out of De La Salle High School. And have another injury on the field. Quick timeout for us. 1:36 to play in the third period. Tornadoes 28, Blazers 13. Cooper Hogan, the injured Tornado, he had suffered a shoulder injury against Hampton Sydney. May have re-aggravated it here on that last play as the Tornado medical staff walks off the field alongside Cooper Hogan. Zachary Orr checks back in. Meanwhile, 3rd and 8 for the NATOs. And flags fly, a pre-snap penalty. And a center infraction there. We mentioned the center position, Hayden Schnell. For all practical purposes, the number 3 center for the Tornadoes in the contest at the moment. Good news, LaRoderick Rucker is back into the game. So that solidifies that offensive line a bit further, that right guard position. DJ Henderson, 3rd down back alongside Ethan Beamish. Beamish back to pass. Throws into traffic, incomplete, intended for George Rennie. And that'll bring up 4th down. So this will be the first punting situation for the Tornadoes here in the second half. Samuel Vargas will do the honors. Vargas, the freshman out of Westminster, South Carolina, impressed during preseason to win this punter position. Heavy pressure, but he's able to get it off and then takes a Tornado bounce out of bounds around the 30. So it'll be 1st and 10. Blazers coming back. 1:22 to play, third quarter. 28-13 Tornadoes. So Tornadoes defense back on the field. Belhaven still looking for their first down of this second half. 3 3-and-outs so far for the NATO defense. And pass there to Galashaw. Brought down by several Tornadoes. Zion Wilson, part of that pile, along with Bailey Ramey. Brandon Broughton. Second and 4. Quick hitter there to Garrison. Jamon Fanning with the tackle. We've called Fanning's name a bunch this afternoon. Fanning, the graduate student, transfer from Hanover out of Thompson, Georgia. Ernest Smith and Trey Williams, the interior of this defensive line, 3rd and 2. Rush here, and there's the first down of the third quarter as Fanning takes down Galashaw. And the sticks move for Belhaven. That very well may be the last play of the third period as time ticks away here, period number 3. At the end of 3 quarters, the Tornadoes 28, the Blazers 13. Brevard outscoring Belhaven 21-0 in the third period. Fourth quarter coming up next.
Probably one of the prettiest places on the earth. And to come to somewhere where it's such a tight-knit community, where everybody has your back, I mean, you're not going to find that anywhere else at bigger schools.
I like to go hang out in the coffee shop, sit outside at the picnic tables, maybe do a little bit of homework there, and just socialize because there's always somebody that I know there.
Brevard does make it easy to come here. The admission process is very simple.
Brevard.
Back here at Islamel Family Fields. Back here at Islamel Family Field, start of period number 4. Tornadoes with the 28-13 lead. A reverse, or at least a fake reverse, fooled everyone, including the cameraman, as Galashaw keeps it with the carry on along the right side. Nifty little fake of the reverse there. Got everyone to bite on R.J. Garrison. Ashford brought him down eventually. Flags fly deep in the secondary. Rush there from Galashaw. But we've got a penalty to sort out first. Galashaw able to earn the first down, and thus the illegal substitution penalty will be declined, so it'll be first down Blazers. Now you feel like this is just a critical quarter, of course, goes without saying here in the fourth quarter, but to put it even more in perspective, the Tornadoes gave up 30 points in the fourth quarter against Hampton-Sydney to lose that game. Here they are with a 15-point lead here in the fourth quarter, an opportunity to come away with a USA South Conference win, but a long way to go, still over 14 minutes left to play. Brooks Ashford, big tackle there. So second down and 8. Nicely done there, Brooks Ashford Jr., senior linebacker out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. 13:40 and counting here in the fourth period. Handoff, Erwin Reed. Reed able to cut through couple of Tornado defenders. Decent gain there, out to the 35. Bring up 3rd and 3. Ernest Smith eventually brought him down. So another big 3rd down situation for the Tornadoes defense. Belhaven 4 of 10 on 3rd down this afternoon. Handoff. Inside carry there, and that's going to be a 1st down for Belhaven as powering forward was Galashaw. Bailey Ramey with the tackle. Ernest Smith was there as well, but another 1st down for Belhaven. Chains move. Quick pass to the right side. Reed able to elude a defender. And then the ball comes loose. Looked like James Wood able to pop it out of Reed's hands. He may have been down, however, ruled down on the play before the fumble. I think his knee touched the turf and then popped back up for a moment. That's when Woods knocked the ball loose, but it'll remain Belhaven possession. 2nd and 5 from the 26. Galashaw, the lone back, he's out to the right of Kirby. Kirby's able to hit a receiver on a cross pattern. That's Reed. Reed brought down by James Woods and close to that 1st down marker. It'll be 3rd and 2. So another 3rd down as Belhaven's been moving the ball effectively here on this drive. Hunter Davis checking back in for the NATOs. Third and 2 as the crowd here at Islamel Family Field picks up the volume. Pass, able to beat the defender with a quick juke there and then go all the way for 6. That was Jacoby James Grace. Big individual effort, yards after the catch for Jacoby James Grace. Very much has been the star for Belhaven offensively in this one. Where's number 86? Hans is out for the extra point. Kick is up and no good. And that's critical because a point after touchdown there would have made this a one-score game. But instead, it remains a 2-score game, 28-19, a missed PAT after the touchdown by James Grace. So mark that one down as a potential difference maker in this game. 11 minutes to play, quarter number 4. USA South Conference opener. Speaking of the USA South Conference, a final from NC Wesleyan. Huntington 49, NC Wesleyan 28. And update from Southern Virginia, Maryville 45, Southern Virginia 0. So teams like Huntington and Maryville flexing their muscles in their USA South Conference opener. Who's going to come out ahead on this contest? Early statement to be made here in the USA South by one of these two teams. Reggie Taylor the second. Ball comes loose, and then a heads-up play there by George Rennie to recover the fumble. That was one of those moments where the entire contingency of NATO Nation here at Islamel Family Field had a collective gasp. Big hit there by Belhaven. believe it was Avery Thomas, number 13, junior from Alabama. And heads up play by George Rennie. Rennie able to recover that fumble. And prevent what would have been a big-time opportunity for Belhaven deep in Brevard's territory. Then a missed snap there. Beamish brings it down, and that's going to be a considerable loss. Beamish able to somehow just keep possession of that. So back-to-back plays where the Tornadoes flirting with disaster. And a big-time loss there, either 6 or 7 yards, so it'll be 2nd and long. Snap there to Beamish. Beamish, quick hit there to Orr. And up ahead past the 25. Josh Blackstock back at center for the Tornadoes, so looks like the starting unit's back out there for the Brevard offensive line. Beamish able to get away from some heavy traffic there. Found Adam Douglas in and out of the hands of Douglas. So it'll be a 3 and out for the NATO offense. And the punt unit heads to the field, so suddenly the momentum shifting yet again, this time in favor of the visitors from Belhaven. Made the trip all the way from Jackson, Mississippi. $550 miles away. Punt here from Vargas. Good looking punt, backing up the returner all the way to the 31. Tulo with the fair catch, and that's where Belhaven will start with 9:23 left to play in the 4th. Back here at Islamel Family Field, 4th quarter of a fascinating football contest between Belhaven and Brevard. Belhaven with possession here after the punt, a flag on the play. Blake Kirby with the quarterback keeper. We'll see what the flag's all about. Penalty will be on the Tornadoes. A personal foul, a 15-yard penalty on the Nados. That's a killer. Tornadoes now 7 penalties for 70 yards. This was a big issue in game number 1 versus Hampton-Sydney, something the Tornadoes discussed and worked on quite a bit to correct this past week. Meanwhile, deep shot here and a spectacular catch by Erwin Reed. Reed's helmet falls off in the process, but a big-time pass and catch there, Kirby to Reed. High-flying Erwin Reed with the catch, and a big play there for the Blazers, and suddenly a hush here at the Islamel Family Field home crowd as the momentum has gone the way of Belhaven. 8:46 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Keeper there for Kirby, and a flag flies as a couple of NATOs with the tackle. Bailey Ramey leading the charge. It was a 32-yard pass to Reed. And a face mask on the Tornadoes, another personal foul. So 2 absolutely critical personal fouls. That one a face mask, and down now to the 8-yard line. Half the distance to the goal on that penalty. So first and goal from the 8. And Tornadoes there defensively really standing up. Galashaw, Dorsey, and Smith with the tackle. So it'll be second and goal from the 9. No gain on the play. Actually, we'll call it a loss of a couple. So no gain. In fact, a loss of a couple on the play. Second and goal from the 9. Pass to the end zone, and making the catch. Tyler Kraft, the tight end, with the catch. And a touchdown for Belhaven. So after 21 unanswered for the Tornadoes, Belhaven has come back with 2 touchdowns of their own here in the fourth quarter. And now extra point coming from Hansis. Kick is up. And good. So now a 2-point ball game here at Islamel Family Field. Oh my, 28-26. High drama here at Islamel Family Field. Back-to-back touchdown passes for Blake Kirby. Hit James Grace for 22, and then Kraft for 9. Kirby now 23 of 30 with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Beamish 9 of 17 with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. 100 yards for Beamish. Big day offensively for the Tornadoes has come from Deaton with 11 carries, 110 yards rushing. Chancellor Lee Parker with 2 touchdowns. Kickoff here for Norris. And Zachary Orr with the return. Brought down inside the 25. Tackle there by Miles Hardy, junior out of Texas. So Tornadoes offense with an opportunity here with 7:25 to play, 28-26. Tornadoes holding on to a 2-point lead. Rush there to Deaton. A hard 3 yards for Deaton. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Well, big shout out to the Tornadoes drum line. Appreciate their work once again this season. In the direction of Nathan Tingler. Also the BC cheerleading squad under the direction of Chandler Ryan. 6:50 and counting here at Islamel Family Field. Fourth quarter, pass there, complete. That'll be a first down for the Tornadoes. Joseph Cuellar once again. Cuellar with his second catch. He had a touchdown earlier, the first of his career. That was a big one to move the chains as clock continues to tick here. 6:24 and counting. Jaden Deaton to the left of Beamish. Beamish with the pass to Orr. Orr able to break a tackle, takes on a couple of other defenders. Big gain there for Zachary Orr. His fourth catch. There was some extracurricular after the play. A flag comes out. And I believe this will be against Belhaven. Nice gain there by Orr after the catch. And it'll be 15 yards on top of that Orr gain. Penalty on Hodgins, the safety, and a costly one at that. As just like that, the Tornadoes now with great field position inside the 30 of Belhaven and a fresh set of downs. Very costly mistake there for Belhaven. First and 10 from the 29, 5:48 and counting. Rush there, and Belhaven was all over it. Jaden Jones coming up from that cornerback position to tackle Deaton amongst a whole host of Blazers. 5:28 and counting. Loss of 1 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 11. Will Marshall's checked in at the wide receiver position. He's on the near side. Adam Douglas on the far side. Lone back is Chancellor Lee Parker. Beamish under center. Handoff to Lee Parker. And gain of 3, maybe 4. Clock now under 5 minutes here in the fourth quarter. DJ Henderson checks back in, the third down back for the Nados. Tornadoes running the clock as far as they can, it looks like here. As Beamish back to pass, has an open receiver, and a nice looking cut upfield by George Rennie for the first down. Big time connection there, Beamish to Rennie. A clutch first down to keep this clock running, keep the possession going. And now into the red zone. The Tornadoes offense. Clock continues to tick. Handoff to Chancellor Lee Parker. Right up the middle. Belhaven there defensively. Wyatt Beck and others. John David Mortar in the middle of all that as well. And timeout on the field. 3:24 to play. Tornadoes 28, Blazers 26. Timeout called by Belhaven. So Belhaven now with 2 timeouts remaining. Tornadoes with all 3. Well, glad you're able to join us wherever you may be tuning in from. A highly entertaining USA South Conference battle to open the conference schedule between Brevard and Belhaven. Tornadoes used a huge third quarter where they outscored Belhaven 21-0. To pull ahead, but then Belhaven has outscored Brevard 13-0 here in this fourth quarter. It all adds up to a 2-point lead for Brevard with just 3:24 left to play. A field goal would help. A touchdown would be even better for the Nados. There's Beamish, wide open opportunity there, able to find Zachary Orr for the touchdown. Beamish to Orr. Big time drive there by the Tornadoes offense after Belhaven had cut the lead to 2. And extra point coming here for Hugo Taylor. The extra point could make this a 2-score ball game. Extra point is up and good. So 35-26 Tornadoes. Great answer there after quite a bit of momentum was coming Belhaven from their direction. 35-26 with 3:20 to play. As Beamish hit Orr for 15 yards and the touchdown. Big time drive, 8 plays, 76 yards. Took up 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So just what the doctors ordered for Brevard College. So kickoff here. Be Nick Akis, who's handled the kickoff duties this afternoon. Also was able to recover a fumble. Big play in this one. Tulo with the return. And brought down at the 29-yard line. Make it the 28. So that's where Belhaven will start with 2 timeouts remaining, 3:14 on the clock, and they need to score at least twice. Tornadoes defense has come up big here in this second half, blanking Belhaven in that third quarter. Had a whole series of 3-and-outs, back to back to back. Now being tasked with trying to secure this win for the Tornadoes as first down pass there, Tulo. And then clock will stop for injury as Tulo's shaken up on the play. So injured player, but also a flag on the play. This one may be coming back. So Belhaven with some costly mistakes in the fourth quarter here. They had a tough 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty on that last scoring drive for the Tornadoes, and what would have been a first down for Belhaven to start this drive and a potential comeback bid. Instead, it's going to be 1st and 20. From all the way back at the 18-yard line. 2 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. Belhaven running out of time. Kirby back to pass. Pressure there from the Tornadoes and sacked. Another sack for the Tornadoes. That's the 3rd sack for the Tornadoes as a team. Nicholas Schultes in the middle of all that. A flag flies. Antonio King was there first. Another flag on the field. So offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So from a practical standpoint, it'll be 2nd and 27. So the Blazers, after the quarterback sack by Antonio King and company, able to pass it out to R.J. Garrison across the far sideline. He steps out of bounds. That at least stops the clock from their perspective. Now the clock runs. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down. Fans, let's hear it for your Tornado defense.
3rd and long for Belhaven. And another sack for the Nados defense. Coming up huge, Antonio King, Robert Dorsey. Also Trey Williams. Trey Williams and Dorsey with a little sack dance there. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout here at Ise Lamel Family Field. New rule in college football, much like we've seen in the NFL all these years, there's the equivalent to a 2-minute warning, but they call it a 2-minute timeout in college football. It'll be 4th down when we come back from the 2-minute timeout. Tornadoes ahead 35-26, 1:54 to play, 4th quarter. Fourth and 28 for Belhaven. Last chance saloon for the Blazers. And another sack for the Tornadoes. 3 sacks on this possession alone. Oh, my. And a turnover on downs. The Tornadoes offense comes out on the field. credit the sack to Robert Dorsey. And Tornadoes on their way to their first victory 2024 in a 1-0 USA South Conference start, as big time stop there by the defense. Belhaven's win probability was pretty low as it was starting that drive deep in their own territory, but then the Tornadoes with 3 sacks on that possession. Rush there to Deaton. Hodgen with the tackle. Timeout for the Blazers, so down to 1 timeout remaining for Belhaven. Catch you up real quick on some more scores across college football. Appreciate you joining us here in the fourth quarter. Ohio State 49, Marshall 14. In the fourth quarter, James Madison 63, North Carolina 44. Kansas leads West Virginia in the fourth quarter, 21-17. USC, Michigan just getting underway. Same with Notre Dame and Miami of Ohio. Arkansas and Auburn underway as well. Meanwhile, here at Islamel Family Field, the Tornadoes 35, the Blazers 26. Tornadoes with the ball at the 3-yard line. After 3 consecutive sacks, a turnover on downs, the defense coming up huge in this one in the second half. Beamish back to pass, and there's a touchdown for the Nados. Joseph Cuellar with his second touchdown of the day, the first 2 touchdowns of his career. And just like that, the Tornadoes stretch the lead even further. Akis will hold for Hugo Taylor, and the chance to put the Tornadoes up 42-26. Kick is up and good. So a back and forth affair here at Islamel Family Field. Belhaven led this game 13-7 at the half. Tornadoes then scored 21 unanswered points in the third quarter to go ahead 28-13. Belhaven made things interesting with 13 straight points of their own. Did have a missed extra point in the process, and they cut the lead to 28-26, but ever since, it's been all Tornadoes. With 14 straight points for the Nados. And that last touchdown, Beamish to Cuellar. Akis with the kickoff. Returnable kick for Hatch. And he returns it across the 30. Just over 90 seconds to play. (42-36) Nados leading the Blazers. Blazers down to 1 timeout remaining. Quick pass there to Reed. Reed's had a nice game. Reed now his 6th catch. 64 yards. Kirby back to pass. And picked off by the NATOs. Carter Rollerson. There is a flag on the play, but an interception for Rollerson, eventually taken down by James Grace. Carter Rollerson, the sophomore defensive back out of Flowery Branch, Georgia. It's a face mask on Belhaven. Penalties declined. Interception counts. Icing on the cake for the NATOs and Carter Rollerson. Big time performance here for Brevard College against the defending USA South Conference champions, the Belhaven Blazers. As the victory formation for the NATOs here. And even though Belhaven has one timeout left, they're ready to head back to Jackson, Mississippi. As Tornadoes singing and dancing on the sidelines. Trey Williams has got some moves like none other. Believe it or not, that's a defensive lineman who can shake it like that. 45 seconds and counting. A field goal good victory for the Tornadoes here in the USA South Conference opener. And that'll do it as head coach Bill Kyatt and first-year head coach for Belhaven, C.J. Nightingale, shake hands. And the clock ticks away here at Ives Lamel Family Field. And that'll do it. It's a final Tornadoes 42, Belhaven 26. So a final at Ives Lamel Family Field, Tornadoes 42, Blazers 26. Big time win for Brevard College to take a 1-0 advantage here in the USA South Conference standings. A fantastic performance for Brevard College in so many ways. So back here at Ives Lamel Family Field, your final score, Brevard 42, Belhaven 26. As head coach Bill Kyatt having his time with the Brevard College team lined up at the goal line. And The Tornadoes able to soak this one in. Big time win here in the USA South Conference opener. Let's tell you about how this thing went down. Belhaven started the scoring with a field goal way back in the first quarter, and that was it for the first quarter. It was a 3-0 game at the end of one. And Belhaven then extended their lead to 10-0 with a touchdown from Blake Kirby to Jacoby James Grace of the 38-yard variety. Tornadoes got on the board for the first time, 8:30 to play in the second quarter, as Ethan Beamish found Reggie Taylor the second for a touchdown from 5 yards out. Extra point by Hugo Taylor. And then Hanses for Belhaven kicked his second field goal of the day, a 41-yarder to make it 13-7. That was your score at halftime. And then the Tornadoes, big momentum shift in the third quarter. The defense came out absolutely ablazing, 3 straight 3-and-outs, and resulted in a blocked punt, also a turnover on a kickoff return that the kickoff specialist, Nicholas Akis, who just does it all. He's the holder. His kicks off. He recovers fumbles. Well, Akis able to come up with that play. Tornadoes capitalize with 3 straight touchdowns, 2 from Chancellor Lee Parker on a 1-yard rush and a 6-yard rush. And then Beamish found Joseph Cuellar for Cuellar's first touchdown of his career, 19 yards. That made it a 28-13 game. Fourth quarter, and Belhaven struck back. Kirby finding James Grace again, this time from 22 yards to make it 28-19. And then Kirby hit the tight end, Tyler Kraft, for 9 yards and made it a 3-point game. There was a missed extra point by Belhaven in that sequence that we thought might come into play if this was going to be close down the stretch, but Tornadoes had different ideas as big-time drive capped off by a Beamish touchdown to Orr for 15 yards out, made it 34-26. And then Cuellar, with his second touchdown of his career and the second of the day, a 2-yard touchdown pass from Beamish, made it 42-26. Tornadoes defense came up huge down the stretch, 3 consecutive sacks, and that led to a turnover on downs, which led to that final touchdown to make it 42-26. Statistically, this was an even game in so many ways. First downs, Brevard 17, Belhaven 16. Rushing yards, all Brevard, 191-28. Receiving yards in favor of Belhaven, 263-159. Total yards, Brevard with a 350-291 edge. Both teams averaged just over 5 yards per play. And penalties, both teams suffered some costly penalties at times, but the Tornadoes cleaned that up down the stretch. In total, 8 penalties for 77 yards for Brevard, 9 penalties for 89 yards for Belhaven. Third down efficiency, Tornadoes 4 of 11, Belhaven rather 6 of 13, and Brevard was also 1 of 1 on fourth down. Individually, the Nados quarterback Ethan Beamish, 14 of 22 for 159 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He was sacked once. Primary receiver, once again, Zachary Orr, 5 catches for 74 yards and a touchdown. Cuellar, we mentioned his 2 touchdowns, the first 2 of his career. Joseph Cuellar, 3 catches for 30 yards. Reggie Taylor, the second, 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. George Rennie had a catch for 13 yards. Also catches from the running backs, Chancellor Lee Parker and Jaden Deaton, both for 6 yards. Deaton with a career day rushing, 14 carries for 112 yards, including a career-long 44-yarder. He was outstanding. Chancellor Lee Parker, once again, 2 touchdowns rushing. That's 5 on the season. He had 3 in week number 1. Lee Parker, 15 carries, 67 yards. Beamish did some good work with his legs at times, did gain 25 yards. He netted out at 12 after a few sacks as well. Zachary Orr had a short rush as well for 3 yards. Tornadoes defense led by Robert Dorsey. He had 9 tackles. He had 3 sacks along with a assisted sack, so 3.5 sacks for Robert Dorsey. Ernest Smith with 7 tackles. Also got a piece of a tackle for loss. Bailey Ramey with 6 tackles. Holloway with 5. Fanning with 1. Interception for Carter Rollerson, first of his career. James Woods with a pair of pass breakups to go along with 4 tackles. And just a big day altogether for the Tornadoes defense, especially in that third quarter where they just blanked Belhaven. Some big-time adjustments by the Tornadoes defensive coaching staff, led by defensive coordinator Martin Bayless. Belhaven, Blake Kirby, the quarterback for Belhaven, 25 for 33, 3 touchdowns and an interception. But the big difference on the passing offense for Belhaven, Kirby was sacked 5 times. So 5 sacks by the Tornadoes defense. Jacoby James Grace with 6 catches for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. Reed with 6 catches for 64 yards. Garrison with 7 catches for 53 yards. Tulo with 3 catches, 24 yards. The rushing attack was negligible at best for Belhaven. Leading rusher with 8 carries for 30 yards was Caleb Galashaw. And Belhaven really just shut down for so much of this second half. That proved to be a big difference maker in this one. Raymond, the leading tackler for Belhaven with 7 tackles. Miller, Clay, and Beck all with 6 tackles. Bird was the primary pass rusher. He had a sack, also 3 quarterback hurries, and a interception for Hodgen. Also had a pass breakup. So good day for Hodgen in that secondary. Well, the Tornadoes improved to 1-0 in the USA South Conference, 1-1 overall. Belhaven drops to 0-3 on the season, 0-1 in the USA South Conference. Next up for the Tornadoes will be their first road trip of the 2024 season, as the Tornadoes will head to nearby Maryville. Always entertaining between those two teams. Quite the rivalry between Brevard College and Maryville. By the way, if you're wondering what Maryville is up to, they lead Southern Virginia in Buena Vista, Virginia, 47-6 in the fourth quarter. So the Scots and Tornadoes will square off. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff next weekend at Maryville. And then the Tornadoes will head to Southern Virginia on October the 5th. And then back here at Islamel Family Field, the next home game versus Greensboro. That's homecoming, 6 o'clock on October the 12th. Other scores around the USA South Conference: Huntington 49, NC Wesleyan 28. That's a final. And then later tonight, Greensboro takes on Methodist. So your final score, 42-26. Big performance for Brevard College. Belhaven, next up for them, they get to play at home in USA South Conference play against NC Wesleyan on Saturday. That's their homecoming game. And then they're at Huntington on October the 5th. One more look across college football. Games outside of the USA South. Division I action happening today. Final scores for a lot of those noon games. Kentucky beating Ohio 41-6. Ohio State 49, Marshall 14. Clemson 59, NC State 35. These are all finals. Florida 45, Mississippi State 28. Indiana 52, Charlotte 14. Cincinnati 34, Houston 0. And a game that a lot of folks here were keeping an eye on, still going on. Get this, James Madison 70, North Carolina 50, with a minute to play in the fourth quarter in Chapel Hill. Just wild stuff there. 42-26, your final here. Stick with us. We'll have a little bit more before we sign off. Brevard with the big USA South Conference opening win. Back here at Lamel Family Field, Brevard 42, Belhaven 26, your final score. Great crowd out here at Lamel Family Field on a warm Saturday. Playing conditions were difficult with the heat on the turf. Over 80 degrees here in Brevard, North Carolina, but much hotter than that on the Lamel Family Field turf. Tornadoes able to come away with the 42-26 win. A few more scores across Brevard College athletics. Volleyball in action today. USA South tri-match. And big success for the volleyball team continuing. They were in Rocky Mount, North Carolina today in a 3-1 win over NC Wesleyan. And that was followed by a 3-2 win, a 5-set win over Southern Virginia. It all adds up to a 10-2 record for Brevard College. Best start in school history and an incredible 8-match win streak for the Brevard College volleyball team. So great job from that group. And want to mention the Brevard College women's soccer team as well in action this afternoon. A 1-1 draw in their USA South Conference opener in Raleigh, North Carolina versus Meredith. Goal by Katie Barton, assisted by Abby Nunez for the Tornadoes, who are now 4-0-2, so remain undefeated, but now with 2 ties and 0-0-1 to start the USA South Conference schedule. Men's soccer will be in action tomorrow. Hope you can join us either here on this YouTube channel or at Lamel Family Field in person. They'll be taking on Berea at 2 p.m. on Sunday right here at Lamel Family Field. Well, just moments ago, our team of reporters, Addie McAllister and Kat Keenan, were able to catch up with a couple of stars of today's game. They had a conversation with Ethan Beamish and Zachary Orr. We'll go to that next.
Okay, congrats on winning, guys. With Belhaven winning the conference last year, how did it feel to get this first win of the season over such a big opponent?
It felt good. Last year it didn't go our way, but after they beat us, they were just smoking cigars at the championship, on the field, and we didn't like that, so we kept that taste in our mouth, and it feels good to beat them.
Yeah. And Ethan, how did it feel leading this team and connecting with your receivers?
Yeah, it felt good. Last week, obviously, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted. So we kind of wanted to get back to the drawing board this past week, and we're excited to see it all come together today.
And Zach, how do you think the momentum changed after your touchdown in the fourth quarter?
Oh, it changed everything. We knew offense-wise we had to get in the box. We wanted to win this game, and that momentum change just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, congrats again.
So appreciate Zachary Orr and Ethan Beamish joining us on this post-game show, and thanks to Addie McAllister and Kat Keenan for their help as well. Do want to thank all those who helped behind the scenes, including the operations staff and the Brevard College men's and women's lacrosse programs here at Lamel Family Field. Big thanks also to public address announcer Ray Gill, campus minister Sherrod Kreisman, who gave today's invocation. From the Brevard College School of Music, Grace Vault with the national anthem. Part of our stats crew here in the Lamel Family Field press box, Scott Bundy and Drew Pond from the BC men's lacrosse program. Big thanks also to our broadcast spotter, Alex Spellman, our producer, Tori Robinson, handling the music today, Guy de Fritas, and on the clocks, coaches Donald Hudson and Josh Hall. Appreciate their work in the press box as well. And, of course, big thanks to Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin for all that he does for Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Well, we'll see you tomorrow for men's soccer. We'll see you back here at Eyes Lamel Family Field on October the 12th for homecoming. Next time the Tornadoes will be back here at Eyes Lamel Family Field on the football side of things. Congrats to Brevard College Volleyball and women's soccer for their continued success. Also, congrats to the cross-country programs, men's and women's cross-country. Senior day for Haley Lane Miller and Sandra Diaz-Martinez, a home meet this morning. Congrats to that group as well. Well, that'll do it for those of us here at Eyes Lamel Family Field. The Tornadoes win. Your final score for the final time: Brevard 42, Belhaven 26. Go Tornadoes!